Thanks for joining us. Hi, I'm Glenn Dill. I'm president of CORE Competency Training. How do you get that dream job? Well, I'm going to help you. In the next 5 minutes, I will share 5 insider tips based on my over 40 years of experience in senior management and executive positions where I made those hiring decisions and developed some mighty fine people along the way. Well, we've got a lot to cover, so let's get started. Tip number 1. Hiring decisions are made on your fit to the job's required competencies. What is a competency? It is the knowledge, skills, and abilities that are applied and are observable, measurable behaviors that result in performance success. Shown here is a basic competency model. The first step starts with obtaining knowledge, which provides understanding of the requirement. That knowledge is practiced and is impacted by your abilities, including your attitude and approach, until the skill can be applied. Hiring managers won't consider that you fully possess a competency until you successfully apply it. Tip number 2. Understanding how companies utilize competency models and their requirements is a key to understanding competencies. Why are competencies important? There's a strong competition for the best jobs. You must stand out, and you need an advantage. The best way to stand out is to understand the hiring process and how companies utilize competencies in the hiring process. Which competencies are required? To accomplish this, preparation is needed. Many companies, especially larger companies, utilize some type of competency model or framework to manage how they ensure that organizations have the specific competencies required to meet the company's strategic objectives. Even companies without formal models often apply the concepts in these models. At the corporate level, the corporation has defined strategic objectives. Certain competencies are required for the company to meet these strategic objectives. These requirements are then utilized by the human resources function to make decisions on hiring, training and development programs that might be needed, and performance management. At the business unit, departmental, and functional levels, competency models are used to define what kind of leadership, process capabilities, and capacity competencies are needed. Finally, individual job competencies are identified. The job description defines these competencies that are required for success in the position. Tip number 3. You must know the 3 types of competencies that you possess. First are your personal traits. These are the traits that you have developed from early childhood that are part of who you are in terms of your personality and influence how you might react to situations you face. These can be difficult to learn and to change. An example would be the tendency to become angry when things don't go your way. Core competencies, on the other hand, can have a very broad impact on your success in any position. These are often competencies that enable employees to contribute value through solving a problem, making an effective decision, and the ability to work in a team. Then there are the job-specific competencies. These are typically defined in the job description and define which specific knowledge, skill, and abilities that are required for a specific job that you want. Tip number 4. You must identify the specific traits, core competencies, and job-specific competencies required of the job. To help you understand how to do this, let's look at this job description for a sales representative. Please notice I've color-coded the 3 different types of competencies that we just talked about. In the first paragraph, you can see in green the need to be able to address customer complaints. This is a core competency, to identify a problem and successfully solve it in a timely manner. In the next paragraph, shown in orange, there's a requirement to be honest and truthful. This is a personality trait. Notice also shown in light gray, there are job-specific requirements, like must understand the premium price value-added sales cycle. Tip number 5. You must realistically assess your current competencies to the requirements of the specific job. Interviewers are trained to ask open-ended questions during the interview process. That's designed to assess how well you match up against the competencies required to be successful in a position. In order to prepare you for these types of questions, you need to do a self-assessment, as is shown below. First, identify each competency requirement, like the requirement to address customer complaints and needs effectively and quickly. It is helpful to define which type of competency it is: personal trait, core or job specific, to help you identify what you might need to be able to address, if needed. It is critical that you honestly and accurately assess your current level of competency. Here you say, I have not been directly involved in the problem-solving process, and I have followed up on others, though, who are involved. What is the gap that exists? As is shown here, I need to get involved in the problem solving as a contributor. I need to learn more tools for being effective as a problem solver. You see, these gaps must be addressed, or you must be prepared for how to handle the questions about this gap. Now, once you have completed your self-assessment, you have the information you need to complete the application and interview process. Well, I told you we were going to cover a lot of material in a very short period of time, and man, did we ever. So I hope you found this tutorial very helpful and valuable to you. There's much more to learn. In this next video, we're going to go into the details of how you apply what you've learned in this module about competencies in preparing for that all-important interview. Now, if you did find us valuable, I want you to like us and hit that bell so you'll get notifications of our next content release, which happens every week. Also, please consider subscribing to our channel. This information is free, and this will help us continue to provide this high-quality information and content to you free of charge. So remember, at Core Competency Training, our mission is your success. Thank you.